everyone for joining us today. We are excited to have you here on the first day of the World Economic Forum at Davos. I'm Heather Kernahan. I'm the CEO of Hotwire Global. We are a marketing and communications consultancy for tech and innovation companies, celebrating our 25th anniversary in business this year, so we've been around for a while. And the name of our event today is Moving Beyond Efficiency and into Brand Value Creation with Generative AI. And we are here in collaboration with our wonderful friends and partners from Page Society, Swisscom Trust Services, and House of Beautiful Business. Well, last fall, we released our first of many AI reports, and probably one of many AI reports you have read over the past few years. My team said about 90% of all session titles at Davos have AI in it, so we're happy to get in the conversation on the first day. That's low, maybe 99%. Yeah, there's a lot. But when we did our report this year, we wanted to move beyond the topic of efficiency. We felt that it was clearly an efficient tool, but there was much richer conversation to be had about AI for brands in particular. So working with House of Beautiful Business for the second year in a row, we have launched our new report, and I'm very happy to share that the opening of the report today with Till from House of Beautiful Business. He's going to take us through the framework, but we have really fantastic 4 sessions for you. So we've got the opener. Session 2 is Future of AI and Brand Strategy. Session 3 is Digital Trust and AI. It's a fireside chat. And our 4th session to close is Ethical Choices, Balancing Innovation and Responsibility. Now, if you need to go, feel free. You can come and go through the session. We're happy to have you here as long as you can stay. And with that, I'd like to introduce Till. Till is the co-founder and co-CEO of House of Beautiful Business, which is a global community of 50,000 professionals with an annual festival, media platform, and many thought leadership projects, working with the biggest tech and innovation leaders in the world. So Till, take it away. Tell us about the report and findings.
Thank you, Heather. Looks you're all good in here. I had to take off my my warmer clothes, so because the mic didn't work and fit. So I'm gonna settle it. Actually, I think I might gonna stand up and you see me better, and it feels a little more natural, right? Okay. Yeah. So as Heather said, Hotwire and House of Beautiful Business have been collaborating for some time now. We actually started with a program 2 years ago, which was about Web3, when that was still a hot thing, and Beautiful Business had a report then last year around brand narratives, how they are changing in the age of AI. And this year we published AI Beyond Efficiency as a report. And there, I want to introduce you first a little bit to the thinking that brought us to this point, because as Heather said, clearly efficiency is that big superpower that AI has and brings to everything it does. But I think after, of course, a first round of, we're gonna need to experiment and we need to do, that next Coca-Cola ad now with generative AI, there's also been quite a bit of disillusionment, or if you will, realization that efficiency alone only gets you so far in marketing and communications with brands specifically. I have actually searched for 2 quotes from people from the agency world that I want to read you quickly, just to get you a little bit into this mindset. So the head of innovation at Hilo, which is a creative production company in the UK, said, "This year, we will no doubt see a huge influx of really average, very obviously AI-made content, which will flood every device we have, and we are right to be concerned because of how quickly AI is evolving. We are constantly in react mode, chasing the next iteration of how amazing the tech is, keen to prove that we are on the bleeding edge, but moving at this kind of pace can be detrimental." Or then Matthias Schrader, who is a agency leader in Germany, who was very much there from the beginning of the digital transformation, said, "While Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta are celebrating their first returns on their AI investments with exploding stock market prices, advertisers and brand marketers are bobbing around in a digital wasteland, and in 2025, it will even be further dwarfed by the regressive trends towards AI-generated assets, towards a pure production factory." And I think this points you a little bit to this problem that comes along with that. If everyone's focusing on running things as efficiently as possible, it really is a race to the lowest common denominator in a way. And I think we'll need to find something that guides brands, marketers, communicators towards a new North Star towards using AI differently. And this does not mean, to be very clear, to not use it in an efficient way or to boost efficiency, but to set other values that ultimately guide that journey. And so we started doing research, talking to our friends at Hotwire, other people in the Hotwire universe and the House of Beautiful Business community. And we started to realize that probably there is a framework that we can create out of all of that. And we have put that here. The framework is in a very simple way to explain that is, it's also there, by the way. The framework in very simple terms is, interacting with AI, either sort of you do that with the intent that it sort of leads to an action that kind of you want to do, or you want to feel somehow in a certain way. So that's this axis. And then the other axis is very much either you want that just for yourself personally, or you want it for yourself in relation to other people. So the intertwined aspect. And then once we realize that these are dimensions to look at, we realize that you find things sitting in here that really are almost like universal human needs. In fact, these are very similar to what you would find in Maslow's pyramid of needs. I'm going to walk you through this quickly. So agency, the first value, this quadrant considers how AI can give customers and employees a greater sense of control over themselves and their circumstances. So action, individual. Then individual and feelings, recognition. This quadrant considers how AI can help customers and employees feel seen and valued for their contribution, thereby making them feel recognized. And then if we're moving to the relational space, relational and action, that's really impact. This quadrant considers how AI can improve customers' lives in social, ethical, and environmental ways, thereby raising the quality of life for everyone. And then maybe the most provocative and somehow interesting here, relational and feelings, intimacy. This quadrant considers how brands can use AI to foster relationships that are intimate, not just personalized, because I think there's a big difference in that. And the idea of hyper-personalization doesn't necessarily lead you to something what you might really need. Yeah? This was somehow kind of a framework that we then started to explore with questions like this, what you see here next to it. Should our brand's use of AI help customers and employees feel a greater sense of control over themselves and their circumstances? Should our brand's use of AI help customers and employees feel seen and valued for who they are and what they contribute? Should our brand's use of AI empower customers and employees to have a greater social and environmental impact on the world, regardless of business outcomes? And should our brand's use of AI foster relationships that are intimate, not just personalized? This, we realized, is really a mindset, a framework that you can use quite well to just have discussions around what your next campaign, your next strategy, could maybe align with in terms of broader values. We started to do research into all of these areas. And what's quite interesting, I'm not going to summarize the whole report now, but all of these areas obviously come with both opportunities and threats alike. Agency is maybe a good one to think about, because this is clearly a space where I think a lot of brands have made a lot of experiments already. Nike by you. So the whole idea to experiment with my brand, shape your own product out of it, customize things. There's a lot that has happened here, but somehow the inherent problem that sort of sits within all of that is if all of that requires the user, the customer, to give their data the entire time without necessarily knowing, is that data used to train something, kind of what is happening. You try to provide agency. At the same time, you also take agency away from them because you try to give it to them without ultimately that informed consent that sort of you probably should have. Recognition, the big point here is clearly bias, right? AI, we all know, is not very free of bias, has a lot of bias built into it. Working towards using AI in a way that it's less biased kind of clearly is I think, major opportunity that brands have. Impact, the values that sort of drive us, that make us buy consumer goods, that make us buy into brands. Patagonia as an example, you can use AI in many ways to foster that collective sense of a group of people At the same time, the problem is that the use of AI, if you look at the numbers in terms of water consumption, what one prompt on ChatGPT takes, is immense. So you try to do something here, and at the same time, you cause quite a big of impact. So it's really an area to navigate and to figure out. And then with intimacy, of course, I mean, we all heard the stories and read the stories of how people become attached to their AI bots. And I think there's obviously a really big opportunity there for brands, also with voice interfaces more and more, to move closer into something which is a real, more than personal, intimate relation. But at the same time, how can that work in a way that it doesn't cause harm in the end? So these are really, like, I think, questions to figure out in a beyond efficiency mindset that maybe, as our hope, can guide a brand's use of AI in ways that make it somehow more distinctive and distinguishable than if just efficiency is at the center of everything. That was a quick summary.
That was a quick summary. Thank you, Till.